Hi everybody, Kira here at Unfurl, and today's video is about how much easier it is to live in my head thinking about videos to make than it is to actually do housework. I don't know whether you can relate to this. Maybe you have another thing that you like to stay in your head thinking about and ruminating about and mulling over. And you know, I really enjoy the wonderful thoughts that I have, and I love this planning and thinking about, could make a video about this. And actually a lot of my mental space is taken up thinking about videos that I'd like to make. And when I was young, when I was a teenager, I would be standing in a pub with a guy that I fancied, and while he and I were in conversation, I was in my head planning the letter that I was going to write to him later about the thing that was happening between us there in that moment. So even when I was there with someone, I wasn't really there. I was in my mind planning the letter I was going to write. And now flash forwarding all these years, and here I am living in my head planning the videos that I'm going to make. So it's pretty much the same thing, just a different creative format. But even while I've been sitting here this morning and I've been thinking about videos and all that stuff, in the back of my mind, there's this edgy feeling because I know I'm meant to be doing my housework. And it's like tapping me on the shoulder. Hey, Kira, it's Saturday. You need to be doing your housework now. The house is pretty disgusting. But I'm busy having a brilliant time up in my brain. And then eventually I got to the point where I actually jumped up from the kitchen table and I went, right, that's it. And then I had absolutely no idea where to start. I knew I was meant to be doing something, but I didn't know what it was. So what I actually ended up doing then was going into my son's room to tell him that he had to get off his computer and do his housework. That was the best action plan that I could come up with. The house needed to be tidy. I didn't know where to start. So I went and told my son that he had to stop doing what he was doing and he had to get up and do his housework. Now he knows what housework he has to do because he has the same job he has to do. Excuse me, cat. He has the same job he has to do every Saturday. And after I told him that, and he has ADHD, by the way, after I told him that he had to get up and do his housework, I realized what was missing for me is that I need an adult to tell me to stop doing what I'm doing and tell me that I have to get on and do my housework. Except I don't have that. I just have that kind of, gnawing voice that tells me I've got to do something, and then I jump up, but I actually have no idea where to start. So that is kind of how I live my life. I just wanted to give you a little insight there. There's a lot of amazing stuff happening up here. But actually translating into real world action, it's not much of a translation there into action. I guess there's value to my videos that I put out. I guess some people find value in them anyway. But in terms of like meal planning, for my week, no, I can't think that far ahead. It's like there's nowhere to go. It's like, okay, I'm going to plan the meals. It's a bit like me jumping up and going, right, and then not being able to find anywhere to start with that structure. And yeah, so that's it. And I have a sister, and she's, if I speak to her on the phone and I ask her how her Saturday has been, like she will have made jam and she will have like upcycled a piece of furniture, and it'll be, by 11 o'clock in the morning, it'll be sitting there drying. She's already sanded it down and done a couple of coats of paint on it. And then she'll have cut the grass and she'll have cleared out the attic and like all sorts of stuff. And that's just not how I live. I don't live in the real world in that kind of way. And it sounds very productive. Her way of living does sound very productive, and I am quite envious of it. But unfortunately, the files that help me to organize my thoughts and planning, it's just not there. So I wonder wonder, is that something you can relate to? Your mind is a magnificent place, but your house is not fully on a par with that. Well, whatever state your house is in, I hope you're having a very relaxing day. And if it is a mess, I hope you can be okay with that. And if you're not okay with it, I hope you find the motivation to get up and sort it out. All right, lots of love, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.